Hi everyone, I'm Janeline Sistina and welcome to my channel. So today's video, I'm gonna introduce you to the Blender software, which I will discuss its part and the different function of each part of the Blender. So let's start. When you open the Blender software, the splash screen will appear. So before I start, let me introduce you what Blender is. So, Blender is a free and open source 3D computer graphics software toolset that are used for creating animated films, visual effects, art, 3D printed models, motion graphics, interactive 3D applications, virtual reality, and formerly video games. So Blender features include 3D modeling, UV mapping, texturing, digital drawing, raster graphics, editing, rigging, and skinning, fluid and smoke simulation, particle simulation, soft body simulation, sculpting, animation, match movie, rendering, motion graphics, video editing, and compositing. So in starting a Blender, the splash screen will pop up and we will just have to click on the space where outside the splash screen. So Blender's interface is separated into three main parts, which is the toolbar. At the very top this is the toolbar. Areas in the middle, this is the areas where you can draw or create your 3D or 2D animations. Status bar at the bottom. So this is the status bar. So workspaces like this layout, these workspaces are essentially predefined window layouts. Each workspace consists of a set of areas containing editors and is geared towards a specific tasks such as modeling, animation, or scripting. So there are the other kinds of some of the workspaces, which is the layout or the areas. So in workspaces, so this set of tabs are used to switch between workspaces, which are essentially predefined window layouts. Next is the scenes and layers. So these are the scenes and layers. As you can see, these are the scenes and layers. So these data block menus are used to select the current scene and view layer. So these are the current scene and the view layers of your um, output. So Blender's default startup shows that the layout workspace in the main area, this is the layout. So this workspace is a general workspace to preview your scene and contains the 3D viewport. 3D viewport is the yellow on the top left. Outline is the green. You can see green outline. properties are blue properties, and line are the red. So, modeling, isa-isahin muna natin. So, after the layout or the areas, we have modeling. So, in modeling, it is for modification of geometry by modeling tools. Another, sculpting. In sculpting, it is for modification of meshes by sculpting tools. You can modify this cube by using the modifying tools, as you can see here. Next is the UV editing. UV editing is for mapping of image texture coordinates to 3D surfaces. Texture paint. This is for coloring images. To color the image textures in the 3D viewport. If you want to color your output, then you can go to the texture paint. Shading is for specifying material properties for rendering. That's for shading. It's to specify the material properties for rendering. Just like another is the animation. This is for making properties of objects dependent on time. So rendering is for viewing or and analyzing rendering results. If you want to analyze your rendered output, then you can go to rendering. Compositing is for combining and post-processing of images and rendering information. Geometry node. This is for procedural modeling using geometry nodes. So let's go back to the layout. As you can see, we have here the status bar. So the middle of status bar displays information about in-progress operations. So status bar is located at the bottom of the Blender window and displays contextual information such as keyboard shortcuts, messages, statistical information. So the status bar in window menu or by dragging from the top edge down. Next is the areas. This is the areas. So the areas of the blender is divided into a number of rectangles called areas. These are the rectangles and these are the areas. So areas reserve screen space for editors such as the 3D viewport or the outliner. You can resize areas by dragging their borders. You can resize the areas also. So every editor is divided into three. Next is the Next is the tab and panel. These are the tab and panel. So, tabs are used to control overlapping sections in the user interface, while panels are this. So as you can see, this is the camera where you can see this. You can also move this camera by like this. If you want to, this can serve as your camera when editing. And this is the light. You can see this is the light. So that's are the basic tool or the basic use of the Blender tabs. So that's all. Thank